Hey guys, gals, non-binary pals, people up, down, left, right, all around the world, my side of the pond, V side of the pond, wherever you are. Thank you for joining us for another episode of GSC's Girl Pod. By now, hopefully you know me. Hi, I'm Candy. I'm nice and cozy and snuggly today because it is colder than a witch's tit and I need to be warm. How you doing today, V?
I'm very well, Candy. It's not that cold in Scotland today. Actually, we're sitting at 8 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. But yeah, usually it doesn't get super cold here until January, so it's just really dark and really fucking miserable outside. So
Oh.
I don't need to be super cozy. Um, I'll wait till January to get out the big hoodie. Like,
That's fair. We got these Udis like last year, and I feel like I didn't wear them enough last year.
same.
But this year has been, I don't want to say unseasonably cold because yes, I'm in the Northeast, so it's supposed to be cold. Global warming is a thing, but I guess it's not that much of a thing yet. But it's cold in my apartment. It says 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Um, I'm not smart enough to know that conversion like
Mm.
off the top of my head. 2 degrees Celsius.
Oh yeah, so that's pretty cold. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But hopefully my PC will kick off some heat to keep me a little warm.
Yeah. Just run something in the background, like put Cyberpunk or something on in the background. Just like melt your CPU. Just like
Fine. Well, if it melts the CPU, then I have to go get a new one, you
well,
know?
yeah, don't do that. But
Or do I, No, I'm kidding.
yeah. At the cost of chips now, like don't do it.
That's
It's not
true.
worth it. Like bankrupt
That's
yourself. Like,
that's true. My upgrade is gonna have to wait.
yeah.
Thank you all for tuning in. If you don't know, you about to know. This is Girl Pod. It started as a joke. Now here we are. I think this is episode like 25, which is pretty huge because we haven't missed a week. And we're even
Yeah.
doing Girl Pod Awards. So the link will be down in the description below for you to vote. We're going to keep it open for one more week. And then we'll have a very special Girl Pod Award episode. Maybe I'll convince the girlies to get fancy. Maybe I'll actually put on makeup. Maybe we'll have award-winning dresses. Who knows? Maybe we'll go all out. We'll do that in the new year. But that'll give us some time to tally the votes, make something appealing looking to give away the
Yeah.
awards.
Yeah. We'll make some papier mâché awards that no one will get. Just like little small trinkets that we have arts and crafts throughout the Christmas period that you can be like,
Exactly.
this is for us. This is my award I'm giving myself, like
This
for
is
being good at drinking. Like
this is the award I'm giving myself for the best outfit that I chose during the Halloween month.
yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you, me, for this wonderful award made by me for me. Yay. Like,
Thank you to this Gooner game of the year that now we have to find a new Gooner game for 2026. But
I'm sure
yeah,
there'll be plenty that come out. Yeah.
I
I
hope
mean,
so.
they brought back classic Lara Croft, the original Gooner, like
That's
the original
true.
Gooner game.
It's
So I'm
true.
excited for that. Mm.
We will get to see, so we'll get to see some returning favorites, let's say, in the coming year or two. But before we truly dive in, because returning favorites, I feel like is going to be a little bit of a theme with our fantasy guest. Before we fully start, if you're not already following the channel, please make sure to click that subscribe button down below. That'll also get you access to the weekly news podcast each week. That will also get you any special episodes that we put up. So, like we did a Dispatch spoiler cast. The weekly news podcast team has been doing lots of coverage around the Game Awards. And then, of course, if all the videos are not enough because you want to engage in a more direct way, we do have a Discord that you can join, where you can join and speak with lots of gamers just like yourself about different games. Sometimes there's even giveaways happening. It is, the season for giving. So maybe check some of those out. And if you're like, I like the Discord, but sometimes I just want to read things on my own, man. That's cool too. You can go visit the website that brought us all together, gamersocialclub.ca, which is where we write all of our news, editorials, guides, and reviews that V gets to check very closely, written for gamers by gamers. So that's the spiel. Now you know, because if you don't know, now you know. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button to get all of that wonderful content. But as always, on this show, we start with something a little fun, which is what are we drinking today? What you drinking, V?
I am drinking gin and tonic with no ice because I finished my one with ice and had to pour one right here at my desk. But I have a Tanqueray London Dry Gin, which is my gin of choice for most gin-related drinks, unless it's a martini, and I would go for a Tanqueray 10 because
Okay.
a martini is just a straight glass of gin. You're
Mm-hmm.
not, so you go something a little bit fancier. But I have that with some tonic and some orange bitters, which
Ooh.
is very nice for a splash or two, and a gin and tonic. So something pretty simple today, nothing too fancy.
There's nothing
Just
wrong with that.
a nice gin and tonic to get me through the darkest time of the
It's
year.
literally. So I have a question about bitters because we went recently to pick up like stuff at the liquor store. When you go to buy bitters, do they have it locked behind a cabinet?
Not in the UK, no.
For some reason, we were at a liquor store, right? So like
Mm.
all this other stuff is not locked, but for some reason, one of the few things that was locked were the bitters. I was like, who is coming to a liquor store and then trying to run off with just a little thing of bitters that you have to lock this behind a cabinet so people can't take it?
Yeah, I mean, these orange bitters. I don't know about Angostura. I don't think I have any Angostura bitters in the house. But this little bottle's only 9%. So is this is less like, so that would be what, 18 proof? Like that's less than a bottle of wine. So
That's what I
why
mean.
like, and it's only 150 milliliters. This is less alcohol and the same amount of packaging as a glass of wine.
Right.
Who's like
So
who's
like, who
stealing
is
bitters
stealing this? Who is
to be
walking
like,
into the
oh
liquor
yeah,
store stealing bitters?
to go and like hide behind a bin and get smashed on bitters? No, that's
Right.
weird.
Okay,
Like,
thank you. Because I was like, I don't know that many people that are just like going and buying bitters unless you're like unless you're actively making certain things, whatever. Like I don't normally just buy bitters to have. I forget what we were making that we got some, but so it was just one of these things where I was like, why? Because we're walking around the entire store. Like, where the hell do they put the bitters? Here's this, here's that. Like, here's the
yeah,
sake, here's the wine, here's the rum, here's the this, here's the that. And finally, we just had to ask somebody, and they're like, "Oh, we have it in this cabinet. What are you looking for?" And we're like, "What?
yeah, that's
This?"
so weird. It's like, oh yeah, so you've just got your 80 proof like bourbon just
Yeah.
out on a shelf, but
Yes.
your 18 proof bitters must be in a locked cabinet. That's weird. That is weird. I don't
Right.
know. Like,
It's like the bitters and then the stuff that costs like, $300 are locked away. I'm like, but everything in the middle is just
you can just
like,
you can just take it, just go.
it
Like,
was
that's
so
so weird. No.
I was like, is it because it's small enough to fit in a pocket? But so are I was like, so is the 1 cup sake if your pockets are big enough. So like, what
Yeah.
is happening?
No, I don't get. I mean, for the longest time, I wouldn't have even been able to tell you that bitters had alcohol in it.
Yeah,
Like, I just thought it was like a cocktail flavoring. Like,
yeah, like a
so
little ingredient, a little
yeah,
pizzazz.
I would have like tried to buy bitters and not been able to without any ID. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because I right up until probably last year, I was not aware that bitters even had an alcoholic content. Like, just like, okay, that's just flavor.
Yeah.
That's like you just put that in a cocktail to give it a certain flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's what that was always like what I for the longest time. That's what I thought, and then I was like, oh, you can only get this at the liquor store doing this. Okay,
oh,
so strange. Meanwhile, I'm
it's
walking around the liquor store and I can pick up sake and just grab it off
hey,
the.
yeah,
So that's what I'm drinking today.
I
A
could
nice
fit
little
in that.
sake.
I could fit that in a pocket. I have a denim
Yeah,
jacket that you can fit an entire like bottle of wine upright in a pocket. Um,
that's what I mean.
that's not
Certain
why I bought
ones,
it, but it is a perk of the jacket.
I could fit it in the
But
pocket of this Udi and it'd be fine.
yeah,
I'm not going to because
so
it'll make it too warm, but I could if I
yeah.
wanted.
But no one's stealing bitters. I suppose the difference as well in the UK is that we don't have liquor stores. You just buy booze from the supermarket.
You
So
can get certain ones, yeah. Like you can get certain wines, you can get beer. Well, you know what, let me take that back. It depends on the state.
mm,
Because even states have this is one of the ways that you know the US is just too stupidly big. Um because even state to state, like there's different laws. So like when we go visit my in-laws in Massachusetts, we have to go specifically to a liquor store even just to like buy beer, right? Like, yeah, it's
yeah,
bizarre. You can get cooking wine in like grocery stores, but you can't get like wine. Like, so there's all these different laws depending on what state you're in. You know, in New York, thankfully, it's just like, well, you have liquor stores, but you can buy your beer and your ciders and stuff
yeah.
um, in the regular grocery store, thankfully. Um, although for sake, I do have to go to a liquor store, which is fine because then I can roam the aisles and be like, what else do you have
Ooh.
here that I might be interested in?
Yeah, what fun things. Yeah, like I do like a little like bespoke little wine shop or like we have obviously I'm in Scotland, so we have lots of shops that specialize in whiskey. Um
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, ooh, you're not going to find a lot of the stuff that you find in those shops in a standard supermarket. But I think most
Right.
people just get their drinks alongside their shop. I did once get ID'd when I was buying a bottle of white wine. It was a white Cote de Rhone, yes, because I was roasting a chicken. So the supermarket is like within spitting distance of my house. Like it's so close. So I went in and I bought all the stuff to make like a full roast dinner, like potatoes and a chicken and like my veg and all the things that I would need. Um, and one bottle of wine, a pretty normal shop for like even a family, but I live alone. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, so I'm not going to take this wine to go and drink in a park. Like, and I
Right.
think I was 30 at the time. And the woman was like, "Have you got any ID?" And I was like, "No. What? No, I don't." Like, we are challenge 25. So it's like you can drink when you're 18, but they will ID you if they
Up
think you
until.
look under 25.
Mm-hmm.
So I was slightly flattered, but also at the same time, I'm like, this is one bottle of quite nice wine. Like, who do you think I'm buying this for? Do you think I'm selling this to someone outside of your supermarket? And I was like, okay, can you just hold the bag there? And she was like, oh, yeah, but why? I was like, well, my house is like a 2-minute walk away, so I'm just going to go get my ID. And she was like, all right, sure, sure. And then when I came back, she was like, oh, I didn't actually expect you to come back. Like, I didn't think you had ID. And I was like, are you joking? Like, what the fuck? Like, you thought I was like in the supermarket, like pretending to buy a full roast
Right.
meal, like do like a weekly shop just so I could try and scadge a bottle of nice French wine, like because I'm underage. Like, what the fuck is wrong with
Right.
you?
Some
Like,
17-year-old is really going to be that elaborate. Come on.
yeah, it's like, and if they are, they're not buying like the bottle of wine that costs £12. You get
Hmm.
a bottle of wine for fucking £5. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, give me my shopping. Like, come on, like, what? This is absurd. Like, I want to go home. I need to get this chicken on. It takes like an hour and a half. Like, goddamn.
That's amazing.
Mm,
I do still get flattered. Oh no, I do still get flattered when they ask for ID, but then I also sometimes am just like, like look at me, like look at what
mm,
I'm buying. Like, do you really
yeah,
think that like this is what I'm doing? Like, come on. And I'm like,
yeah.
it's flattering that you think I look young. I don't look that young. Like,
Mm.
let's be real. Like, come on.
You
I
look
mean,
young, but you don't look underage, I think is
right.
always the thing. Because when you see people that are of, like, I go to the pub once a week, although I've not been to pub this week, so presumably everyone who's there thinks I'm already dead. Um, but
Oh
like
no.
when and Stirling's a student town, so you see people who are like 20, 21
Mm-hmm.
coming in to the pub, and I'm like, no, they look so young though. Like I am, yeah, as you say, flattered, but there's no way you're thinking I'm the same age as these people. Like you
Right.
can't possibly,
Mm-hmm.
like, because they look like tiny children, like,
Yes.
like, and I look like a
100%.
fully grown adult. Like, mm,
Yeah, I'm like, you don't think we're the same age.
no,
Like, stop it.
you definitely don't. Just
They
give me
don't
my
think I'm the same age. You don't think I'm the same age. Come on.
yeah, just give me my beer. I did. Was it last year? It couldn't have been this year. Might have been. They got a new general manager in the pub. And I
Mhm.
went for my birthday because I usually just go and my friends will just appear randomly throughout the night and we'll shoot. And I sat down at my seat that I have in the pub. And I was like, oh, can I get a pint of Hazy Jane? And the new general manager was like, have you got any idea? And I was like, no.
Excuse?
Like,
Do you know
what?
who
What
I
do you
am?
mean? And then one of the other regulars just started laughing. He was like, "What is going on?" Thankfully, another member of staff who did know who I was, like, walked in. He wasn't working, and I was like, "Angus, can you tell your new manager that I am 34? Like, so I can
Oh
have
my
a beer on
god.
my birthday. I don't want to walk home and get my ID." Like,
Yeah.
like
No, definitely not.
she was
Oh,
fine about it though, but I was just like, I am so flattered because I've just like it's my birthday and I'm getting older. But at the same time, if you don't give me a beer, I'm going to be so fucking angry.
I'm
Like,
gonna rage if you don't give me that beer.
yeah, you better get that beer started right now, Shona. Like, come on, this is outrageous. Like,
Do not ruin my birthday. Do not
mm,
do it.
don't you do it? Don't you do it? Like,
No, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So let's envision 2026,
mm,
January. It's your birthday. You have managed to put down Code Vein 2 long enough to go to the pub on your
mhm.
birthday. What fantasy guest is joining you there?
I would love. So obviously, we had the Game Awards on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Technically for us it was Friday because it started at midnight. Jeff, um,
Friend of the
but one
show.
of the uh, friend of the show, Jeff Keighley. Uh, one of the one of the games that they showed off. I think it was the first game actually they showed off after the pre-show. Was a
Mhm.
game called Fate of the Old Republic. Now, my favorite game of all time is Knights of the Old Republic. Like, I love that game. I played video games since I was very small, but I can firmly say this is the game that got me into like proper single player story based
Mm.
games. Um and it was worked on by a man called Casey Hudson, who then went on to make my second game series of all time, which is Mass Effect. Um, and he's coming back to Star Wars for Fate of the Old Republic. And I am not afraid to say that I squealed like a little girl. I was so excited. I was like, yes, this is gonna be this is it. This is gonna be peak. It's gonna be the best game. So I would love to talk to Casey over a beer. Ask him what it was like to work for BioWare when they were peak BioWare. Because I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of people, and I do tend to agree, they may have fallen off slightly a little bit over the years. I will blame EA because it's EA's fault.
Valid.
um, but what he's feeling about returning to Star Wars,
Mhm.
I think it's like a spiritual successor. I don't think it's tied into the Knights of the Old Republic games at all because, well, they're not canon or anything like that, and who knows what Disney's doing with Star
I
Wars.
mean,
But
canon
um,
at this point, like with Star Wars, is
just throw it out.
ridiculous. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like it's one of those things where it's like some of the canon stuff is fine, and I get it, and I know that you need to have like a canon universe. Fine, whatever. Um, but I I just feel like the problem that I sort of have with some of the canon stuff is that the canon stuff post the originals is just
Mm,
not that great. But meanwhile, I do think that some of the stuff they've done, um, prequel wise, like Andor was a
mm,
fantastic series. If you haven't watched it, you absolutely should watch it. Rogue One was a fantastic movie. Um, I didn't even hate the Solo movie. It's very much like a silly heist movie, and if you go into it with that sort of
yeah.
a view, right? I think it's good. Um,
The worst
you
thing
know.
about the Solo movie is that it was presumably edited together by someone who plays video games at the recommended brightness level. Like, see when it comes up and it's like, oh, adjust this so
Mhm.
you can barely see the icon. And I always
Yes.
go like a couple above. because I'm not a cat and thus cannot see in
In the
pitch
dark.
black darkness. But Solo is so badly lit. Like
It is.
half the time I'm just like, I don't what I can't see. I can't see
Mhm.
what's happening on this scene because the person who they play Elden Ring like on default brightness. And I'm like, okay,
Oh no.
like none of our eyes work like that. I'm so sorry.
No.
Like please just bump it up just slightly.
Yeah.
Someone should have put a light just like in this room while you were filming. I don't know why you filmed this scene in a pitch black room, to be honest. Like
No, but I
other than
mean,
that, it's a fun little heist movie.
it's a thing.
Yeah,
If you go into it as like a fun heist movie, great, right? If
Yeah.
you go into it thinking that it's anything beyond that, but then again, I feel that way with a lot of Star Wars stuff. I'm like, do not go into it thinking that it is like the best thing in the world, right? And this is a little bit of a hot take, and I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, but I've said this to friends. If you watch episode, and this is going to the sequels a little bit, but if you watch episode 8 as a movie and not necessarily as a Star Wars movie, I think it's actually a great movie. I think it's a bad Star Wars movie, but I also think that Star Wars movies are not inherently great movies. They are great Star Wars movies. They are fantasy, like sci-fi blending of things, but they are not great movies. They're not great storytelling. Whereas I think episode 8 actually had a lot of great storytelling moments because it was very, what I always wanted was not everything is so black and white and existing in the gray. And you get a lot of that in episode 8, which I think people didn't like, which again doesn't work for Star Wars, which is why I think it's a bad Star Wars movie, but a great movie.
Yeah. I think I have so many problems with the sequel trilogy, not least in the fact that I think someone who was also at the Game Awards this year promoting
J.J.
his new game,
Abrams.
that J.J. Abrams is a fucking hack. And lens flare is not a substitute for knowing how to tell a story. J.J. Abrams. And the mystery box idea is only fun if you then tie up your plot threads at the end of the mystery. Like,
Yes. Here's what I think about J.J. Abrams, because I think that he is very good at starting things, but he's not good at finishing things, right? I think he lays down a lot of really great groundwork for things, but he needs a finisher, right? Like he needs someone who can come in and like hear out his ideas and then be like, okay, so we can start it here and here's how we get it to like a good resolution, right? Because, you know, I have not watched Lost, but I feel like a lot of
first
people,
season of Lost was so good.
right?
And it had like an ARG, and it made me want to fully engage with it. And then like 3 seasons in, I'm like, what is going on? Like,
Right.
none of this is following on from each other.
Right.
Like,
So it's like a great start and then a fall off, right?
Yeah.
I believe he also did the show Alias, which was like Jennifer Garner and stuff like that, right? A great start,
Yeah.
started to fall off, right? And even episode 7, which yes, was very much like a sort of retelling of episode 4 in many ways, right? Which I can deal with that because it does feel very like if you as a family don't learn from your history, you're doomed to repeat it in some ways and blah, 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 right? And all the things that they probably should have dealt with, right? And all the family trauma. Fine. You know, a good start to give it a reboot. And then I think episode 8 did some really clever things with it, but then we give it back to him for episode 9. And it's like, well,
Somehow
like,
Palpatine is returned. Somehow Palpatine is returned. What the fuck? What the fuck?
here's the thing. I could even get past the idea that Palpatine has returned, right? I can get past that in some ways. They did it right.
They did it well in the comics.
They did it well in the comics. I can get past that. I can get past the fact that Rey is like his granddaughter or whatever, right? I was a little bit mad about it. And the only reason I was mad about it is because one of the things that Sean and I used to do is called Saber Guild, which is like fight choreography and show stuff where you create your own Star Wars character. You create your own like Jedi or Sith, blah, blah, blah. And you can go and do all these things. And it's like fully approved by like Lucasfilm. So I have a lightsaber and I have an outfit and I have all this
Oh,
stuff, right? Which is really cool.
that's so cool. We just used to do that with like replica lightsabers in my back garden with my
Yeah.
friends when I was a teenager.
And that's the thing. So doing this was like really cool because then it's like, oh well, it almost feels like you are
Mhm.
creating like
Yeah,
extended universe stuff, right? So,
yeah.
which is no different than jumping into one of these games and creating your own character and doing all this stuff, right?
Mhm.
So when I had created my character's like backstory, the first character that I created was a Sith. Um, and in my backstory, my my parents were both like force users and force sensitive. Um, and because the rule of two with Sith and this idea that like trying to get another Sith, just like finding one and you know making them believe the same things that you would and blah 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 wouldn't really work out, and there was this sort of like paranoia from the father.
Yeah,
Instead, it was like, well, I'm going to purposely have a child and make that my successor. Right. And
yeah,
then, and knowing that in other spaces, and part of the reason I took this inspiration was because I was like, well, we see that, you know, eventually Anakin chooses his family over this power and over this Palpatine thing. Right. So it was like,
yeah.
well, you could have in some way been like, well, Palpatine realized that family was stronger than whatever other elements
Yeah,
were
so
out
you,
there. So he then
mhm.
like, so that's why I was like, I'm not super mad that like they're related. I'm not, because I could see a rationale. Not that that ever was given in the movies, but I could see how we
Yeah,
get to a place like this, right? You learn from your mistakes because obviously Anakin didn't do what you wanted him to do, and you
yeah,
move along, right? So fine, I could see all that. But then it's like for her to be like, I'm a Skywalker. No, you're not. Shut up. And
yeah,
why? And why? If we have to make her related, stick with you know what's related. Why do we then have to make it all about her and tying it back to the Skywalker family? Because I would have preferred that she just pretended like she was related to none of them, especially with Episode 8 having the kid at the end who uses the Force to grab the broom, right? Because I was
yeah,
like, this goes back to the idea that anybody could be a Force user and anybody could be, you know, special and anybody could be powerful and anybody could do these things. And then we get to Episode 9, it's like, no, it still has to stay within the Skywalkers. Like, fuck that.
yeah. Because
Stop.
I think people, obviously not everyone. I think most people actually who like Star Wars are pretty well agreed upon the point of like Star Wars is almost like a like it enforces the chosen one narrative, but it's also
Mm-hmm.
like a deconstruction of the chosen one narrative. It's
Yes.
like Anakin falls to the dark side because he is like told he is the chosen one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you can debate later. Well, obviously it happened first, but
Mm-hmm.
he is it him that brings balance to the Force at the end of Return of the Jedi, or is it Luke, or is it the combination of both of them?
Right.
Like, is he actually the chosen one? But it just turns out that he had to go on this dark side arc to get to
Mm-hmm.
it. But there's definitely like a deconstruction there of what is a like the weight of that and being told all the time like you're the person that's going to do it and etc etc.
Mm-hmm.
um Me and my friend Adam have had many a spirited debate in the pub about, you know, what what the prophecy of the chosen one means for the end of Return of the Jedi. It's always a
Mm-hmm.
good chat. Um, but yeah, to then bring it back in 789 to right back to the Skywalkers, I'm like the the thing I love about Star Wars as someone who read the books like in high school, like at a table at lunchtime, like a little nerd, like
Mm-hmm.
and you know, played Knights of the Old Republic and like hung about with my friends and pretend learned all the fucking names of the forms for the lightsaber forms, and did lightsaber choreography in our back gardens. Like, was that there's so many stories to tell in that universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge.
Yes.
Like and obviously you'll have ones and connecting things that go back. Like I really love the Jedi series, like with Cal Kestis.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Darth Vader is there, but Darth Vader is there as like just straight up villain,
Yes.
like just which makes sense because one, I think Darth Vader's such a good villain, like, but two, like yes, it would make sense during that time frame that
That
he
he's
would
the
be
big
out
bad. Yeah.
hunting Jedi, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not about. his family. It's not about the family dynamics. It's not about him being the chosen one. It's just like, damn, that man is fucking scary.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and you've got all these other stories to tell, and then yeah, 7, 8, 9, especially when they did the thing in 8. I will say I think 8 is there's a bit in the middle of it. See the bit where they go to the casino planet, and I'm like, oh, this is so slow and boring, and then at the end it's pointless because Benicio del Toro's character just like betrays them anyway. Spoilers for Star Wars Episode 8 if you've not seen it, but I feel like if you've not seen it at this point, you're
You're not
probably
gonna
not
watch
gonna
it if
like
you
it. Like,
yeah. But you're not
like
gonna watch it at this point. I mean, I think, and the thing is, I think all of that ended up becoming pointless because they never then did anything with it following up
mm,
afterwards, right? I was like, if you
yeah,
had done something with this, because he's the character that for me really embodies that gray area, right?
yeah,
And he says it, right? You know, and I don't remember the exact wording, but he's basically like, well, it's who benefits me, right? And
yeah.
it's like, yes, because finally we have, not that he's like an everyday person, but yes, more of an everyday person, right? Who's not caught up in these high tiers, right? Of like being the ultimate villain or being, you know,
Yeah.
the savior of everything. And it's like, yeah, sometimes you gotta look out for number one, right? And like, yes, I understand that the Empire did a lot of messed up things, right? But the Empire also did bring some stability to places that didn't have stability, right? Like, let's be real, right? They did, right? And I'm not saying they did it in a good way, but they did. So those people might be like, oh, it's not so bad. Right? It might be like, and not
No,
because it's serving their self-interest at the time, right? And
yeah,
I'm like,
no,
oh, they might be like,
absolutely.
it's not so bad, right? Like I have
Yeah,
a job now. My job might be being an awful stormtrooper, but I can put food on the table, right? Like, or you know,
yeah,
whatever. And again, it's a matter of perspective, right?
yeah. It's an examination of the fact that people will do pretty bad things as long as it benefits them,
Mm-hmm.
or they will compartmentalize the
Right.
fact that they are supporting bad things if it makes their life a little bit easier, which is like very much the story of the human existence. I'm just
Yes.
thinking about, I don't know if you saw it. This is a complete tangent, but I'm just like, because
It's
I'm
girl
thinking
pod.
about
There's
like,
always tangents. What are you talking
no,
about?
but I'm thinking about like completely missing the point on a thing. And I don't know if you saw the trailer for the Animal Farm movie,
Oh.
the new Andy Serkis Animal Farm,
Mm-hmm.
based on the book by George
Mm-hmm.
Orwell, which is a complete critique of totalitarianism and the fact that power corrupts.
Yes.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you think it's just if you think it's just saying communism is bad, you are wrong. Like, it is specifically saying that any
Mm-hmm.
type of power structure can be corrupted
Yeah.
by the fact that
100%.
people act in their own self-interests.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if you give too many people too much power, it is absolute power corrupts, absolutely. The fucking book. Like,
Yeah.
and it's only this thick, so the fact that you could have read it and missed it, I don't know. Like, they've
That
made it
people
into
would
like
need literacy to be able to understand the message.
they've made it into like a, oh, but actually the pigs are corrupted by the tech bros, and it's like a Pixar comedy, and I'm like, what is this? Is this Animal Farm for kids, but missing the point of Animal Farm?
Yes.
If if an outside influence corrupts the pigs, then it's
Mm-hmm.
no longer a critique of totalitarianism,
Right.
because you're saying that actually, like, certain people are innocent and they wouldn't corrupt themselves in this way. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what? Like, what? Why is Seth Rogen there? It's a fucking Animal Farm. Like, I I don't understand. Like, we had an
No.
animated version of Animal Farm that apparently was made in like the 50s
Oh, which
by
is like terrifying.
the American government. Yeah, it might be made by the CIA as a critique of communism, because
Mm-hmm.
they also didn't understand that Animal Farm is not. It is based on Stalinist Russia, yes. Um, and I'm not necessarily saying I'm not doing full support of communism or any other
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like, but if you think that Stalinism was also what people talk about when they talk about communism nowadays, they don't think you understand Stalinism or communism.
No, I mean, here's the thing: the people that did the version of it in the 50s, They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew. I firmly believe they understood what the
Oh
message
yeah,
really was, and then we're like, but we're gonna subvert it for this, and now it's been
because it's the
subverted
Cold
so
War.
much, yeah,
Yeah.
that like this is what people believe, and I think for me that's also why like the lack of continuity from 8 going into 9 felt like such a missed opportunity,
Mhm.
right? Because you have the character of DJ saying it's gray and I'm doing this because of this and blah 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 blah, right? And then instead of sort of following up on that, right? And even trying to explain that like yes, like the when you have this power, like it's going to corrupt and everything, right? Instead, we still then just see, right? Palpatine fighting for trying to keep his power, and
Yeah.
then, you know, the Jedi or what's left of them and Rey and all these people then like fighting to take down his power, and basically it's like, well, but then what are you doing afterwards, right? You're just putting yourselves in power, right? Which then could lead you to the same issue where
Yeah.
you don't, so it's like you miss the opportunity to actually have some reflection, right? And again, I know
Yeah.
Star Wars isn't that deep, right? So you
But it
have
can
this,
be
it
because
can be.
Andor was so good.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. So it's like
like
8 gave you this opportunity to be like, the people in the middle are who are dealing with a lot of this. Well, we're just fighting for power. The people in the
mm,
middle, right, are allowing or contributing or whatever to some of these really bad ways of things happening because it benefits them in the immediate and not being able to look long term, right?
mm,
So we should be the people looking long term and how we help them, or else we're just as bad as Palpatine, right? And we're just as
yeah.
bad as the Empire, and we're just as bad as this, right? And that was never touched upon, which 8 gave me hope that maybe we would get something like that, and then we didn't, and then the character of DJ and all this other stuff, yes, feels like a waste because it's like you
Yeah.
didn't follow up on any threads that you could have followed up on, right?
No, we found a magical ancient dagger that actually shows a modern location
Yeah, that's it.
as a crashed bit of this Death Star, but the ancient Sith knew that.
Hmm.
Definitely, that's a thing. That's a thing
Yeah,
that would happen.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
there could have been a lot more, but I think Andor does some of that stuff, and I do think that some of the video games do that, right? So
Mm,
to bring it back to the fantasy guest, I am curious, right, if you know they will do that, and what does how does how does Casey Hudson see this, you know, fitting into the larger Star Wars universe, whether it's canon or extended universe or whatever, right? Because
yeah.
we are now going back in time, if we're talking about the
Yeah.
old Republic.
Well, this is the first time I think that the Disney series have went to the old Republic
Hmm.
since it was basically declared non-canon.
Right.
Um, and there's a lot of, oh, I think Knights of the Old Republic, and I know that if there's any Star Wars fans in the comics, they will correct me if I'm wrong, and I am open to it. But I don't know, but I think that might have been the first video game anyway that sort of introduced the idea of like grey Jedi,
I
because
think
you meet
so.
like
Yeah.
Juhani um in the first one, who's more of a grey Jedi, and then the old man in the second one, I can't remember his name, that's going to annoy the life out of me, who is a grey Jedi, because he fell in love and wanted to be with the woman that he loved,
Hmm.
and that's like against the Jedi Order. Like, so yeah, they do a lot more in Knights of the Old Republic to be
And yeah,
like, it's not black and white, and oh yeah, you were. Do I want to actually say spoilers for a 25-year-old
it's a
game? I'm happy
25
to.
it's a
I
25-year
know,
old game.
but in this specific instance, it is my favorite game of all time, and part of it is because the twist is so good. Like, however, I feel like if you've not played it by now, you're probably not going to play it because you were waiting on the KOTOR remaster, which I
Hmm.
am. I'm not going to lie. Kinda happy has never seen the light of day. Uh, Purely because, well, Asper, it was made by Asper, it's supposed to be made by Asper, who do all the ports of Knights of the
Hmm.
Old Republic. Um, one of which on the Switch was so broken that it was like literally was unplayable after a certain point. It just crashed your game. Um, and I remember reading like an interview, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we might change some of the story elements just to surprise people,"
No.
and I was like, "There is no way. There is no way you're taking like the god tier writing that is Knights of the Old Republic and thinking that you can do it better. That's hubris. That's like
Yeah. No.
remaking BioShock and changing
You're
the
not doing
moment
that.
in BioShock that you know that I'm talking about. Like it's just like absurd. Um, but
Okay,
yeah, and
here's
then
what we'll do. Look,
yeah,
here's what I'll do. I will put a spoiler
spoiler warning.
warning.
Yeah, you can
So if
skip
you
to
are
this.
listening to this, this is your spoiler warning. I am literally jotting down a timestamp so I can put spoiler across the screen for this moment. So
Yep.
spoiler warning. Tell us the moment, V.
So there's a moment in Knights of the Old Republic when you're traveling about the galaxy looking for star maps to find the Star Forge that Darth Revan used to create their army that started like the Sith War after the Mandalorian Wars. And there's a moment where you find out that your character is Darth Revan. And I remember just putting my controller down. Like, this is what happens every time there's a moment that I don't know how to deal with it. I just put my
Mhm.
controller down and then I pace in a little circle. And I was in my bedroom of my mum's house and there was no space to pace. So I just sort of like lay down on the bed and just sort of
Mhm.
rolled backwards and forwards like a little roly poly because I did not know how to handle it. And it's so good. But if you spent your entire playthrough like on the light side, you're now
Mhm.
like, how the fuck? Like, but then you also find out in the second one and a little bit in the first one that Revan might not have necessarily been a bad guy. He was trying, or canonically, Revan is a male, but he was
Mhm.
trying to protect the universe from like a bigger threat from the unknown regions. So it's like it's so great. Like it's like him and Malik go off to fight in the Mandalorian Wars against the wishes of the Jedi because they can see how badly this is going. And during that, they either get corrupted or they see that the universe is not ready for a greater threat.
Mhm.
Malik obviously does get corrupted, like he's a bad guy, but like they are trying to make the universe more prepared or the
Mhm.
galaxy more prepared for this horrible thing that's going to happen. Um, but you can read it both ways, and depending on how you play the game, you will read it in a completely different way than I would have if you're like full light side, or if you're
Mhm.
full dark side, or if you are sort of morally in the middle and you're making those pragmatic choices.
Yeah.
Makes that reveal completely different for every single player, and I'm like, damn, I'm hooked. This is so good. This is god tier writing. Give me more of this in a video game. This is what I need in my life. Like
That's fair. So is it safe to say that you have very high expectations for Casey and team?
I do probably too high. I will probably have to. I'll have to rein myself in. It was very much the same moment. And again, this is another spoiler warning. This is a spoiler warning for Mass Effect. Um, but the first Mass Effect, where you find out like the Reapers like sentient ships and they were the ones that wiped out the Protheans. Like, and that Saren's ship, like the bit on Vermeer, when you find out you have the conversation with Sovereign. And I was like, damn it, BioWare, you've done it again. You fucking done it again. Like, I'm like, like, what do you mean? Like, all of this stuff that we've been looking for in the back end and things like that it's all it's all connected to this thing that's actually an alien invader. Like, what do you mean? Like, like, so yes, I have incredibly high hopes, and I want to talk about them with Casey. I want to be like, Casey, please, please, Casey.
Okay, so what is the one thing that he could say that would be like, no matter what else happens in this game, it's a 10 out of 10 for me?
Oh,
If there is
like,
something. I mean, there might not be, but if there was something that is like on the wish list for this game that it's like, no matter what else it is surrounded by, this will
Okay.
be a 10 out of 10.
I mean, put Atten Rand in it from Knights of the Old Republic 2, and I'll buy it. Like, I love that guy. Um, uh, I don't know if there's like one thing. Like, it's a combination of things, but I think if he assured me that it was like story focused, like
Okay.
they
Hmm.
thought about the story that they wanted to tell, because I feel like with Knights of the Old Republic, that's definitely what it was. The first Mass Effect, even Mass Effect 2. I don't hate the ending of Mass Effect 3, but it kind of seems like it was set up to serve the purpose of the game rather than they wanted to tell this very specific story. I want to know if he wants to tell, if there's a specific story that he wants to tell, and if he says that there is and that's what they're doing,
Hmm.
then I am 100% confident that they can do it in a way that is amazing.
Okay.
Um,
I think that's fair.
mm,
That's fair. I mean, and to come back to a series that is so loved, I almost feel like there has to be a story that you want to tell, right? Or they
yeah,
offered you a shit ton of money.
yeah. I mean, they might have just given him
Hopefully both.
loads and loads of
But
money. But yeah, well, they should have just given him lots and lots of money. But also at the same time, yeah, like you're going back to my favorite era of Star Wars, and I want to know that there's a very specific story there that you wanted to tell.
Mhm.
I'm excited to know when during the Old Republic it is.
Yes.
Like,
I think
are
that's key
we?
too.
Yeah, are we
Yeah.
doing Mandalorian Wars? Like, are we
Mhm.
doing post Knights of the Old? If we're doing post Knights of the Old Republic 2, oh my god, I'll be so excited. Um, and if there is not a cameo from HK-47, I will riot because I love that man. He is the best droid in the world. Like, give me back my murder robot friend. Like, he doesn't need to be a party member. I just need to be able to see him at one point and like calling someone a meatbag, and I'll be happy forever. Like,
I mean, that's fair. I think that's fair. Um, you know, I think thinking of the when, I just want to be like, when the hell is this coming out? Right? Because how long are they going to dangle this? How long are they going to dangle this in front of us?
mm,
And part of the reason I feel like that is so important is because while I don't foresee this having an unfortunate fate, right? We know that they dangle games in front of us, and then sometimes you get that really awful announcement where it's like, oh, game is canceled, right?
yeah. And that does happen with Star Wars games maybe more than any other game.
Yes.
Like, they cancel Star Wars games all the time. When was the last time we heard anything about Star Wars Eclipse? Not that I was excited about that.
But
Fuck
still,
David
when,
Cage specifically.
yeah,
Like he's a creep and I hate him. Like, but yeah, like 1313, like so many Star Wars games get sort of like announced and then hyped up, and then
mm-hmm,
4 years pass. The Knights of the Old Republic remake. I wasn't excited for it, but I know a lot of people were.
right. If you
It's
wanted
not
to
even
dive
been
into it.
cancelled. It's just like no one's speaking about it. Are they
Mm-hmm.
just hoping that you forget they exist? I
I
don't
mean,
know. Like,
my, with like with the remake, the only hope that I feel like it has now is like, we're going to put out the remakes 2 years before we put out this new one so that you can
mm,
play the remakes before like, I feel like at this point that's sort of the only hope that it has. And it's not even just Star Wars games that get canceled a lot. Other Star Wars projects get canceled a lot too, right? That is an
mm,
unfortunate reality that I think Star Wars fans contend with. Although then again, at the same time, I feel like nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
absolutely.
So maybe they're happy that some of these things get canceled, right? But it's like things like that where it's like, so you've announced this is all like, I think it was, all of this stuff is pre-alpha. Like, so you just showed us some cinematic pieces, right?
Yeah.
You didn't show us anything that would give us a true indication of when we can expect to actually see this game, right? Like, am I supposed to wait until like 2030 to play this game? Like, that's 5 years from now, right? And and this isn't just a slight to Star Wars or to Casey or anyway, this is a slight to the whole fucking gaming industry, right? Because even I was passively watching the Game Awards because I was playing a session of D&D. Sorry to my DM who had to deal with me like looking at the screen to see some of the Game Award stuff. But as I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, there's a new D&D game coming out. Oh my God, it's Warlock. I fucking love Warlocks, right? Like that's the first class that like I really felt connected to. Like I'm so ready for this game. And then it's like gameplay trailer 2026, game coming out 2027. So I have to wait 2 years, right? And hope that you don't delay it, right? And hope that you don't cancel it, and hope it doesn't get stuck in development hell, right? And then by the time you put it out, I'm going to need like a 7070 graphics card that's going to cost me $2,000 and a PlayStation 7 by the time like this game is ready to play. And then it's going to be like, oh, we were in Unreal Engine 5, but now we're going to, like just all the things that could go wrong. And I have no idea what they're developing in it, right? So I'm just spitballing, but all the things that could potentially delay these things. And it's like, stop showing me things that might not come out until like I'm retired. And that's obviously an exaggeration. But it is just insane, right? And then especially with a game like this with no date.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, like looking at the Warlock Dungeons and Dragons game, which is quite funny because you're like, oh my God, it's called Warlock. Like I'm so excited because the first thing I said was like, I fucking hate Warlocks. Like sorcerer supremacy.
Oh, no.
Like I want more than 3 fucking spell slots. Like
I mean, that's fair.
Like,
It's fair. I mean, hey, you know what? The Warlocks are like 2 pump chumps. We get like 2 really great spells and then that's it.
And then it's like, I Eldritch Blast actually. Like, is it? Maybe an Eldritch Blast? Like, oh, maybe an empowered Eldritch Blast? No.
It's like, oh, Tiefling Warlock, what do you want to do? I'm just going to Eldritch Blast. Why? Because I have no spell slots. Don't even ask me what I'm going to do. I'm just going to roll.
I'm already rolling. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, Eldritch Blasting? Like, how dare you? Like,
how dare you assume I could do anything else at this point?
But looking at the studio that's making it is Invoke Studios, formerly Took Games, I think that would be, or TQ Games, I'm not sure how you would, but they made the 2021 Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance, which I actually really enjoyed. I know it didn't do very well, but it was like a co-op Dark Alliance game. Me and my partner at the time played a fuck ton of it during the pandemic. Oh my God, it had a Metacritic of 53. Was it that bad?
Oh no.
I liked it. I had a good time. Like I was like, yeah. It was like but I know the servers of that got shut down pretty recently, maybe earlier on this year or late last year. So yeah, as you say, it's like, oh, it's coming out in 2027. Their last game did really bad. Well, the Warlock Dungeons and Dragons, but yeah, it's like, but like,
so it's like, is it actually going to come out 20? Or are you going to then be like, oh, we're delayed? Oh, it's like that, and that's just so common in the gaming industry right now, which is what drives me bonkers when you're projecting out 2 years from now, right?
Yeah.
But we know that you may say 2 years now, and then something else can happen, and that something else isn't always within their control per se.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, and that's why I bring up like the graphics cards and the consoles and all these other things, right? A new console comes out and you want your game to look really good because if the graphics don't look great, or if this doesn't look great, or it doesn't, like if it doesn't play well, and then you have to go back and fix things, and you change one line of code and then that changes everything else for the next like 120 lines of code. And then you're trying to, and this is how things end up getting delayed and messed up. Right. So it's like, you're telling me 2027, I almost feel like I have to assume 2028, right? Which is 3 years from now, which is absurd. Yeah. Right. And I will say, not that the next game is Dungeons and Dragons based, right? But same thing with the next Divinity game. Now, I haven't played any of the Divinity games. I am going to go back and play them, right? But it's like, hey, we have a new Divinity game coming out. And I'm like, that's great, Larian. You had Baldur's Gate 3 in like beta testing in Act 1 for like how long before you actually put out the game. Now, it's a hell of a game, right? I fucking love that game, right? But how long did it take you to put that out, right? And all the testing and all this other stuff, right? So then all these the games that unfortunately I saw that I was like, yo, these look cool and I would play them. I'm like, I have to wait years for these games.
Yeah.
Like, stop it. I'm still waiting for Elder Scrolls 6. Where's that at?
Todd, I saw you there. I saw you in the crowd when I was watching it. Todd.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't be at the Game Awards. Maybe you should be back in the studio working on the game.
Go back. Do your job, Todd.
No celebration for you until you give us Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, but I don't care. Christmas is cancelled specifically for you, Todd. Get back in the fucking offices. Go and make me some more Elder Scrolls. Like,
stop just re-releasing Skyrim on everything, okay? I get it. You're putting it on the Switch too. I don't care. Give me 6.
Yeah, I can only play Skyrim so many times. It's a lot of times, Todd. It's a lot of times. But it's been 14 years. Like,
literally.
Like,
literally.
Todd, please.
Stop pumping out shit for Elder Scrolls Online. It's not that good, okay? It's fine, but it's not that good. Can you please just give us Elder Scrolls 6, okay? And stop talking about updates to fucking Starfield. Nobody cares. It sucked. Give us Elder Scrolls 6.
I mean, I didn't mind Starfield. I don't know if I go so far to say that it sucked, but
I don't like sci-fi stuff that much as far as my games. So for me, I was like, fuck you. Give me 6.
But also, at no point, like, I remember getting Skyrim for Christmas in 2011, the year it came out, because I asked my mum for Skyward Sword, and she did not listen when I said a word, and she went into game and was like, my daughter plays games. She asked for one, Sky something, and the guy was like, yeah, Skyrim. And then presumably he just recommended that she also buy me Black Ops at the same time, because that's the biggest seller of the year. So I'm like, opening my Christmas presents, I'm like, yeah, but it's Skyward Sword. And I'm like, Skyrim. I was like, oh, it must be the other one. And then I'm like, Black Ops. And I mean, I really enjoyed Black Ops when I played it, but I was not a massive, like, first-person shooter guy. I was just like, oh no. Like, next year, maybe just give me vouchers and I'll buy the games I want. Goddamn. But I adamantly, like, refused to play Skyrim for, like, the first year of owning it. I was like, I don't even want to play this. Like, I didn't ask for it. My boyfriend, when I started uni, used to invite me around to his house and then just sit and make me watch him play Skyrim. My high school boyfriend did the same with Oblivion. Me and Todd, we've got some stuff that we could talk about. But, like, and I was just like, I have a games console in my own home. Like, I could have just played games by myself instead of sitting here watching you play. Like, because this is boring. Like, so it took me a full year to fire Skyrim up, and I think I put it on because I couldn't think of anything else to play, and I was like, right, I've got it. But it hooked me immediately. I
loved it.
Fucking hell. I was like, la la la, frolic about, oh, there's a cave, da 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 da. Like, I wasn't even like, I didn't even do the main quest. I was just like, ooh, cave, ooh, other cave, ooh, guy, la.
I loved it, and I didn't even mod it. Like, that's how, like, because I know the Skyrim, like, modding community is huge. I love the game without the mods. That's how you know it's just a good game.
Yeah, I didn't mod it right up until, like, maybe 3 years ago, and I modded it a bit on PC. But before that, I'd been playing it for 12 years unmodded, 900 hours. That's doing the same thing all the time, just being like, la la la, oh, bound bow, like, yay, oh, sneak archer, yay. So when Starfield came out, I was quite excited, and I was like, and I took the day off work to play it, and I played it for like a good amount of time over the weekend. There was a few moments that made me go, ooh, like if you set your name as a certain name and it's in the list, your little robot guy will call you that name. So when I went onto my ship and the little robot was like, Captain Victoria, and I was like, what? Like, yeet the controller across the room. I was like, yay! And then the more I played of it, I was like, oh, this isn't doing what Skyrim did for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's too much, not enough frolicking and me just going and making my own fun, and too much like, oh, I'm probably going to have to do a quest because otherwise I'm just in the same caves. I
Mm.
know all the caves in Skyrim are the same. You don't have to say it. I know they are, but somehow they're not. Like,
It
I can't
feels
explain
different.
why.
No, it
Yeah,
feels different. It doesn't
yeah,
feel as railroady.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, in order to get cool stuff, in Starfield, you need to go and do this, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really like any of the companions. Not that I liked any of the companions in Skyrim, but I just didn't take any of them with me.
Fair.
Like, um, and like, yeah, just there was nothing. I feel the same a little bit about Fallout. I know people love Fallout, but neither Fallout 3 or 4 like grabbed me. But
I like the Fallout
Oblivion,
TV show. But
mm,
game wise, I'm like, I kind of enjoy watching people play it, but I don't think I'd get the same joy out of playing it that I see
mm,
other people get.
yeah, no, absolutely. I don't know if it's like how they do the skill systems or something.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Oblivion. I fucking love Skyrim. I know it's like not as deep as an RPG as Oblivion. I
But
shouldn't have to have an
still,
app on my phone to track when I should level up though. The scaling in Oblivion is bad and wrong. Um, but there's just so many little tiny bits in Skyrim that's just like, oh, that's fun. Like when you
mm-hmm.
first go to Windhelm and it's like, ooh, there's a murderer. And it's like, ooh,
Yes.
yeah. Like now it's a detective game. I'm going to solve a murder. Like, yeah.
Yeah, all those things,
Like,
all those little elements are so much fun, and I hope that,
yeah.
that's the kind of thing that we get in 6, right? But Jesus Christ, you announced it. I'm just looking at the background, right? I had to look this up because I
17
was like,
years.
I can't be crazy in like thinking that it's been forever, right? In June 2016, they confirmed intent to make a new entry. Okay, fine. That was the intent to make a new entry. Not a lot there. Fine. October 2018, they likened the release in relation to Starfield, which came out in 2023, right? They said, go back and count the years and you'll get the idea that's not coming out anytime soon. Okay, but that was 2018. We are now 7 years later, right?
Oh, damn it, Todd.
The
Todd, you just
prospect that the games industry would be in a new generation of gaming hardware by the game's release. Yes, you were correct. We are in a new gen of hardware. Thank you so much for stating the obvious, right? And
you're
then
gonna
in May
get
2020, it's like Pete Hines, who's marketing and communications, is like, it's going to be after Starfield, which you pretty much know nothing about. Like, so I can't manage your expectations. Okay, fine, no problem. Then in 2019, you tell us Skyrim Grandma is going to be an NPC and doing that through motion capture. Well, I hope y'all did that, right? But that's 2019. So you
yeah.
were talking and working on things in 2019, right? Okay, great. Thank you so much, right? Then in
Todd, I just
20
need to get a sneak archer again. I just need a sneak archer again.
then
Why?
in 2021, it's like Todd Howard says it's in the design phase, right? And this is
What
where
does
I
that
get a little
mean, Todd?
nervous. The technology would be built on the groundwork established by Starfield, right? And the game would arrive some 15 to 17 years after Skyrim. Okay. 15 to
It's gonna be
17 years after Skyrim. Well,
it's gonna be
Skyrim came
15.
out 2011. We have hit the 15-year mark, right? Or are you telling me that you're talking, not like original Skyrim, but really it's going to come out, 15 years after the 10th anniversary edition of Skyrim with all the DL, like what are you talking about? Like when are we getting this? Right?
Yeah,
And then you keep
Todd.
reading and it's like, "Oh, at the earliest it'll be 2026." At the earliest? At the earliest? You ain't giving it to us
Todd.
at the earliest. Let's be real.
No. Todd. 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 I need you to I need you to skip Christmas dinner. And
I need you to get to work.
I need you to finish it. Just go and finish it. It's going to be buggy and a bit broken anyway, and no one's
We
going to
know that.
care
No one's going to be
because
mad about it.
because so was Skyrim, and we loved it.
Mhm.
Like,
No one is going to be mad, okay?
I just
We're
want to
going
know
to
where
take it.
it's going to be. Like we don't even know like what bit of like Tamriel it's going to be set in.
We don't know anything. We know nothing except that it's taken you forever and it didn't enter active production until 2023. So you talked about it for so long to not enter active production until 2 years ago and then
I'm
try to tell me the
installing.
earliest is 2026. Why
I'm
are you lying to
installing
me?
the Oblivion remaster on my Xbox right now. I
We have it on
require.
our PS5. I haven't touched it yet, but
I did have it on my PC, but never properly got round to playing it. But now I'm like, I need it. I
I need some
require.
sort of Elder Scrolls in my life.
Yeah, and I don't want to play Skyrim again. I mean, I do, but I'm like, no, come on, I want to play something. I need it.
Mhm.
Oh, I
Mhm.
can put it on my Xbox ROG Ally X and then just play it at my mum's house. Just sit on the couch, be like, yes, like just sit and play Skyrim the entire thing. Like,
But
I mean,
it's so it's
Oblivion
just like
remaster, not Skyrim, not.
give me something. Give me something. So, yeah, it's just so
Yeah, it
all this to
it
say
does
some of
feel
these
like they've gotten a
games.
little bit
Ugh,
better about release dates. Like a lot of the stuff announced at the Game Awards have like
had something.
26,
There was
27.
there was one, I don't know if it was the Divinity one, but there was one that I think literally said 2028 and I was like, "Are you serious? Like
Yeah,
2028? Like are you for real?"
why why are you doing this? This is, you don't have to tell us
Yeah.
if it's 2020. Yeah.
Like don't tell me because then you could just cancel it. And I'm going to forget. And the other thing too is like you announce some of these games
Yeah.
and I'm like, our attention spans and our memories have gotten worse and worse over the years. So why are you telling us now when by the time 2028 comes around, we're gonna forget, unless it is something massive like an Elder Scrolls, right? We are
Mm.
gonna forget,
Yeah, because
right?
we're never going to forget about that, Todd. You have to make it. We will come to your home.
Yeah, and I think the reason that we will remember is also because of the so many things that have come before it, right? So like obviously
Yeah.
Skyrim being huge. Also Skyrim if you keep giving Skyrim re-releases, everyone's going to be like, "Okay, so when's the next thing?" So we're not going to forget
Yeah.
about Elder Scrolls 6, right?
Stop
Star
bringing
Wars.
Skyrim out again.
Stop it. You know what? They finally heard us when we said stop bringing Skyrim out so much, and they were like, "All right, here's Oblivion," and I'm like, "That's not any better. Just give us the new one, right?" But so
No, we're gonna get Morrowind
we're gonna get
remaster
Morrowind
and
before we get Elder Scrolls 6.
To be fair, I actually would not be mad about that. Like, because
I mean,
Morrowind is great,
I've
but
never
it's
played
so
it, so I'd be in.
janky.
Oh
Oh no,
no.
well, it's not janky because it probably was janky. It was janky at the time. It was a Bethesda game, but it's so old and
Mm-hmm.
janky that it's like, unless you are fully in the space of I am playing old
Old
jank,
game. Mm-hmm.
which I'm happy enough to do, but I know a lot of people struggle with, and I get it because sometimes when you fire something up, especially if it's something like has like tank controls or something like that, I'm like,
It's hard.
how
Yeah.
did how did my brain process this as a
Oh
child?
yeah. Yeah.
When my adult brain is like, what do you mean I
Struggle.
point and it don't work the way that I want you to make it work?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think, and you would love Morrowind actually, like you would.
That's the thing. I think I do want to like sit and play the Oblivion remaster. I'm like, do I play that instead of Expedition 33? I should focus on a game. But like, I do want to
I'm
sit
downloading
and play.
Oblivion remaster right now. We can chat about it. We can
I
talk
mean, you're
about it.
right. It's already installed on the PS5 too, and I haven't even bought Expedition 33.
Yeah, and we can just talk about the fact that we were planning on doing stuff and then we're both sneak archers again. Like you
But
can make
like,
your own spells in Oblivion, which is
oh, I
fun.
mean, that's
Like you
fun.
can craft your own spells.
That's so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, and also the Dark Brotherhood questline is like quite
I
possibly
do
one
love
of
the
the
Dark
best
Brotherhood.
questlines. What if you liked it in Skyrim? Like the one in Oblivion is quite possibly one of the best questlines in all of gaming. It's so good. Like
Sorry, Expedition 33. You might have to take a back seat.
there's a specific quest in it that I won't spoil too much of, but it's like essentially like a murder mystery in a house.
I love murder
Um,
mysteries.
it's it's really fun. It's so fun. Like you should just go We should just go and play the Oblivion remaster right now. Like, podcast is done, guys. Bye. Like, my
Bye.
my download will be done in 13 minutes and 42 seconds because I have a, a gig
Of
of
internet.
download speed. Yeah, it's just rattling its way through it.
Mhm.
123 gig just will be done in 13 minutes.
I love
Which is
that.
pretty impressive. But yeah, you can just be like, John, switch the PS5 on. It's Oblivion time.
I mean, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna be here playing. Don't mind me." No, but yeah, I will play Oblivion, but I want Elder Scrolls 6, and I don't want just here's this one random image for Elder Scrolls 6 so that we can release it in 2030. Like, stop. I should not be able to potentially have a kid in kindergarten when I don't even have a kid right now before Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. Like, that just
Yeah,
seems absurd, right? And people are not going to forget it, right? And I think people are not going to forget the Star Wars game because of the fan base that it has. Whereas a lot of these other sort of smaller games will be forgotten, right? So it's
yeah,
like to announce it, I almost feel like sometimes to announce these things so early, you are shooting yourselves in the foot because
yeah,
then you get a little bit of hype, people forget about it, and then it's like, oh, well, all these people wishlisted this game that doesn't come out for another 3 years. And then by the time it comes out, people are like, what was this game that I wishlisted? I don't even know. I don't care. And then it's
yeah,
like, oh, sales were so much worse than we expected. Yeah, no shit. You hyped people up 3 years ago.
yeah. And you also then get the idea with bigger games because I'm thinking also of like Judas, like the Ken Levine game, obviously spiritual successor to BioShock,
Mm-hmm.
um, which is apparently in development hell. Uh, which I'm not necessarily surprised by reading some of the articles about um Kevin Levine's like design philosophy and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna like man makes good games. BioShock's one of my favorite games of all time. But once you start hearing things are like in development hell, I think it then colors your perception of the final game.
Yes.
So it's like not to say that all games that have been in development hell and they've come out have been good, but there's probably ones that have been better than the original reception of them
Mm-hmm.
was because people then get it into their head like, oh well, this has been cut to pieces,
Yeah.
this is not what was intended, this is this and this, and then you're like, all right, okay, it people are super hyped, they hear it's in development hell, then their expectations are all over the place, and then when it
Mm-hmm.
comes out it doesn't really matter how good or not the game is because you have just completely mismanaged expectations of your fan
Yeah.
base. So you're going to have people being like, "Oh, it's the best thing ever," and you're also going to have people being like, "Well, this took 10 years,"
Mm-hmm.
like, or you'll be like, "Oh, you can see the fact that they've like changed it. This is on the original vision and da da da."
Mm-hmm.
You are completely shooting yourself in the foot to
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, well, we get so much more insight into things that happen behind the scenes in um the games industry than you might get maybe a little bit less so now. I think you get a little bit of insight into stuff in the
Mm-hmm.
movie industry and stuff where people talk about reshoots and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just seems so people who like video games want to be informed of all this stuff. They want to know what's happening in all the studios. They want everything. And then you find it out and then it really colors your perception of the finished product.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It does. It
um
100% does. Yeah. And then you're sitting there and you have, you have these expectations that are so high, and it's unfortunate because I feel like more often than not it's impossible to meet those.
mhm,
It's just impossible because you have now given so many people 3 to 5 years to build up these expectations in their head, right? I know like you know, like the big one, the upcoming big one, I guess, will be like, the next GTA, right? Like, what are the people's expectations like at this point for this game? Because you've been talking
presumably
about
not
it,
updated controls because they've not updated the controls since San Andreas, but
right? But you've given people how
people like
long?
what they like.
Yeah, I guess people like what they like. I don't know. I've never played a GTA game and I probably never will. But
Yeah.
that's one that now people have had how long to think about. And have delayed it already, right? And you know, if Addy is to be believed, it'll be delayed
It
again.
doesn't exist. No, it just doesn't exist.
It doesn't
It
exist.
just doesn't exist. I'm gonna go up
Right?
to Dundee. It's not far in the train from me. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna. Obviously, there's lots of people protesting out of the offices at the moment because Rockstar are cunts. And wait, are you allowed to say that word on YouTube? Like, but
You're Scottish. I think they should let it slide.
yeah, who have
I didn't say it.
fired loads of people because they were trying to unionize, which is one, terrible anywhere, but two, fully illegal in this country. And pretend that I'm protesting, but I'm actually going to sneak inside and be like, snoop around and figure out that they've actually it's been cancelled already. They've never made it. They were just making shark cards for GTA Online this entire time.
Oh my God. Could you imagine the outrage? The absolute outrage. I mean, because you know, the one before that was Silksong, and obviously we finally got Silksong, right? That was when it was like, it's not real. And they were like, no, we promise it's real. We're gonna have a playable demo at this one, you know, museum in Australia for like a couple of weeks about a game exhibition, and you can play it there. And it's like, yes, the few people that are gonna go all the way to this one museum in Australia for this one copy that you can play. And then obviously it was a Gamescom, but you know, I feel like that was the one that I was like, it's not real. And now it's like, no, it's real.
And I will forgive as if like that's something that was in my capacity for be doing. But like I think it's much more understandable for like a Team Cherry. There's three of them. Yeah, obviously there was some outsourcing and stuff, but small little indie studio, they wanted to hype up their fan base because Hollow Knight was so successful. Rightfully so, fantastic game. Although I do think that if you're playing other Metroidvanias as a Hollow Knight fan, you should go into them with an open mind instead of thinking everything should just be Hollow Knight, because you're either on like trailers saying Hollow Knight clone bad, or on trailers saying why is this Metroidvania not just fucking Hollow Knight? And
yeah,
I know this is Goomba 1, Goomba 2 meme. These are two different groups of people. You both have to just get your shit together. Like, some games are not exactly the same as other games. And that's fine.
That's absolutely fine. 100%.
Yeah, Team Cherry very small. I'm glad that they didn't crunch on it. I think that's fantastic. And I'm glad that they had a really good time with it. Again, there is just that slight managing of expectations. Should it have been at the Xbox show being like, these are all games that are going to release within the next 12 months.
Yeah.
And then just nothing. Like, you know, like, oh, we'll put a split-second trailer of it, like, in the middle of a Nintendo Direct to just make everyone go mental. It's like, yes, you want to keep your fans hyped up, but you're not keeping them informed. And you must know, if you've been on any part of the internet, that your fans are rabid, feral animals.
Oh my God, yes, they are.
That need to be put in a timeout. Please never do this again, Team Cherry. Like, please understand that the Hollow Knight community, even though 90% of them are super sound and just really excited about the game that they love, 10% of them are the most vocal, terrible individuals that you've ever seen on the internet, and you can't give them anything. They don't deserve it. They shouldn't get it. They should be locked away, and their internet access should be revoked.
I mean, you know what? That's fair. I will say there was, you know, I don't want to steal any other thunder. If you want to hear more about Game Award stuff, make sure you check out the special news podcast that's going to go up. But, you know, I did see, because I had asked someone when they mentioned it, some Silksong fans, surprisingly, actually felt that Expedition 33 won too many awards and that it should have gone to Hades too, which was interesting to me, that they weren't like, oh, this should have gone to Silksong, because I expected, you know, that it was the 10% that were like, it should have gone to Silksong. Instead, you know,
it was the 90% of very sound individuals who
yes,
love Hollow.
and they finally got to be the loud majority for once, right? Instead of just being, you know, the majority. But, you know, I think it's interesting when you do have these expectations where these people are like, yes, the game was really great, but I think like best indie should have gone to Hades 2, which I don't agree with either, because I have a lot of conflicting thoughts on what makes an indie. And we've talked about it a little bit on the podcast before. I think I've talked about it with Britt,
Yeah.
where it's like, are these really indies? Should they have been in their own category? And I actually think, as much as I love Hades 2, I do think that Expedition 33 deserved that award, because I
Yeah.
think if you had asked anybody a year ago about Expedition 33, they probably would have been like, that game looks stupid, I don't care. Or, whatever the loud
I think
majority would
people,
say. Or
I
loud
think,
minority, I should say.
yeah, I think some people, well, I mean, when we saw trailers of it and various different things over the year, last year, it's like a lot of people were quite excited about it, because it looked fun.
Hmm.
But I don't think anyone was really expecting it to just like
To do what it did.
hit the way they hit.
Hmm.
And to go into the conversation they were having about when you announce a game, no one had heard of Expedition 33 really until
Yeah.
like last year.
Hmm.
Or even like, yeah, like when they were starting to do the marketing for it, when it already basically had a release date scheduled.
Right.
Like, so it went from like not a lot of people really knowing about it to people being like, oh, what's this? This looks a bit interesting. And then it's like at the Xbox Developer Direct and it's like a deep dive and everyone being like,
Hmm.
oh, actually, this looks super fun. This looks like something I'm into. To coming out and just being like, bam, like, you want a
Yes.
good game? Like, here, let's go. Like,
Mhm. Right.
so no, I don't think people weren't going into it with these like ridiculously high expectations that they had made in their own brain.
Right.
They were like,
Right.
oh, this looks fun. This looks like a game that I might enjoy. Like, I love a little turn-based game. I know you mentioned it before the
Mhm.
pod. Like, I do think people who are like, oh, turn-based gaming is back, need to just
Shut the fuck
open
up.
Steam.
It's always been here.
just like
Shut up.
it never left.
It never left.
Like,
It never left. I wrote a whole article with different types of turn-based games. It never
Yeah.
left. It's been here.
yeah, it's definitely it has been here. And
You just
that,
weren't looking.
like, and it doesn't take away from how good Expedition 33
Yes.
is or its success, but pretending actually that it's like rejuvenated the genre that didn't necessarily need it, I think that takes away from it more,
Mm-hmm.
because you're basically saying like, oh, well, it's super successful because people have been waiting for this genre to make a comeback for this many years. It's like, no, but that genre didn't really go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's really successful because it's just a really good game. You
Yeah.
don't have to attribute it to fake trends in an industry that you either don't understand or you are just being disingenuous about
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want to play the other games in that genre because they maybe are not for you. Like,
I
and
saw
again, you
I saw a
can't just
hot
say
take on
a
this.
game that's not for you. Like,
I saw a
so,
hot take on this.
yes,
The
I love a
hot take that I
Go.
saw was that a lot of the turn-based games that are solid games are very anime style, right?
Mhm.
And that alone puts people off. And that if Expedition 33, if you didn't change anything except the art style, right? If you kept the music, if you kept the combat, if you kept everything else, that if it was anime style instead of what they went with, that nobody would give a shit about this game. And I was like, you know what? I think there's some truth to that.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of truth to that because I think it's a wild take to say that this is like the rebirth of the turn-based genre.
Mm-hmm.
I saw someone talking about like, oh, I bet Square Enix are kicking themselves for getting rid of turn-based when you had like Baldur's Gate and then Expedition. It's like, but turn-based didn't go anywhere. Like, is all
Right.
But are we like forgetting that just last year, fucking Metaphor ReFantazio was also in the running for Game of the Year.
It was my game of the year.
I did not play.
I think it's a great. Here's the thing. I think it's a great game.
I would have played it because I love Atlas, but I just didn't have time.
It's fine. It's a great game. I think it's very good. I think it fixes some of the things that the Persona genre the Persona IP sometimes is a little too reliant on, right? I think it's a great game. I really, really hope, and so far they haven't said anything, I really hope they don't do the fucking you know, here's the golden, here's this. Like, I hope metaphor is just what it is. Atlas is very guilty of that, but I hope so far they haven't announced anything. We had the 1 year anniversary. They didn't say, hey, we're doing this edition. I was like, thank
I
God.
think they've learned
I think they
because
have
was there
too.
not a report saying that that sales on a lot of their initial releases now are dropping, and the
Because people
feedback
are
is because
waiting.
people are like, oh yeah, well, why would I buy it now? Like
Mm-hmm.
when I but yeah, like even in 2023, I one of my favorite games of 2023 was Sea of Stars,
Mm-hmm.
which is like pixel art, turn based
Yeah.
with active mechanics in the combat. Like they have like a sort of break system
Mm-hmm.
that's not it's not the same necessarily as Octopath, but there's some bits and bobs in it for it. But it's like you have to like hit them with certain combinations of attacks. There's like parry mechanics within that because you can do special attacks and you bounce attacks back off them. Like a fantastic game made by a really small little developer who also made The Messenger, which is also a banger. So it's like, and obviously we had like Baldur's Gate 3. Like
Mm-hmm.
we've not, for me, who plays a lot of turn-based games, there's not been a dearth of turn-based games. Like they didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Um, and I think I've, in full disclosure, I have not played all of Expedition 33. I've played some of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. And this is not a dunk at all on Expedition 33. I think it deserved the awards that it got. Like a
100%.
fantastic achievement from a brand new studio. I'm saying it does that game a disservice to pretend that the only reason that people liked it is because it rejuvenated a
Mm-hmm.
genre that didn't need rejuvenating.
No.
You can just say that a game is a banger without it
Mm-hmm.
having to redefine a genre or
Yes.
like refresh a genre. You can just be like, God damn, this game's fucking good. Like
Yes.
I think
100%.
we're too much into it. Even like last year with Astrobot, which I have made my feelings known about. It's a fantastic game. I'm not saying it's not, but we have to stop with this narrative that like fantastic games are not just great. They're like breathing fresh new life into the gaming industry's never been better.
Mm-hmm.
Like in terms of the games that are being released by a variety of studios, especially indies.
Yeah.
Obviously, the the business and economics behind it with a lot of the big studios and publishers are trash. But like we've never seen like better years for just like so many good games at so many different levels
Mm-hmm.
of price points, of funding, of like different
100%.
styles and graphics. So to come in consistently with these takes that are, oh, well, this did so well because it's doing something that no one else is doing,
Mm-hmm.
um, is a disservice to the rest of the games that come out that are also very good that you just might not have played or never heard of.
Yeah.
Um, but also, it's a disservice to that game to imply that the only reason that people are enjoying it is because it's like saving the industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, it's because it's fucking good,
It's
bro.
just
Like,
good.
it's just a great game that people like and enjoy, and it doesn't have to be deeper than that. It like we don't have to do 20 million think pieces of like, oh, what can the games industry learn from Expedition 33? It's like, I don't know, be more French. People love baguettes. I don't know. Like, I
More
love
baguettes.
baguettes. I fucking love baguettes. Like, and like, I'm Scottish. We love the French. We are united in our hatred of the English. Like, come on. Like, but yeah, it's just like, it doesn't, a good game doesn't need to redefine the industry. It can just
No.
be a 10 out of 10. And
Yeah.
I think, like, for the majority of people that played Expedition 33, it was just a 10 out of 10,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not that deep.
Yeah.
Like,
It doesn't always have to be that deep. It can just be a good game. It doesn't need to redefine things, you know. And I if it is your first foray into turn-based gaming, that's different, right? There is a big difference between it rejuvenated turn-based gaming and it is a good entry point to turn-based gaming, or it's my first entry point into turn-based gaming because of the other things that it had, right? Those are fine points if that is your first entry point, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm looking for something similar now, right? Because there is a lot of turn-based games out there, all different types and styles and whatever, right? So, but you're right. It's like to say that like they rejuvenated a whole thing. No, they just may have seemed more inviting for one reason or another, right? Maybe people were not looking for a non-active sort of turn-based, right? Because they want the parry, they want those sort of mechanics, they want something a little additional to their turn-based. That's fine, right? Again, that has existed before Expedition 33, and it will exist after Expedition 33, right? So that's fine but if that was something you were looking for to try turn-based, cool. If you haven't tried turn-based because you didn't like anime style looking turn-based, right? That's a personal problem. You should get over that, and then you should try other games that are anime style that do turn-based and have great narratives, on their own and do that, right? And again, that's one of the spaces where I'll say, like, play Metaphor, right? Because I do know that a lot of people don't like the sort of anime style because it's like, oh, then you have the weird romancy scenes and you have this and you have this. Metaphor doesn't have that. Metaphor cuts that out, right? So so I understand where if you're like, I don't want to be a high schooler romancing other high schoolers, that's cool. Play Metaphor, don't play Persona, right? Like that'll be my thing to you, right? Because I if that is your qualm, there's still another turn-based game for you, right?
Yeah, no,
but
absolutely.
it did not revitalize it, right? It did not do that. Let's not pretend that turn-based turn-based hasn't existed and that there aren't other turn-based RPGs, right? Because there's turn-based visual novels, there's turn-based RPGs, there's turn-based roguelike deck builders. There like turn-based is so general.
Okay. Are you telling me like I should be super hyped for Expedition 33? Again, this is I think it's a great game. I'm not this is
Yeah.
not against it. But you think me who has like 200, 300, maybe 400 when you add it all together across different things into fucking Slay the Spire is sitting here saying, "Oh yeah, thank you for revitalizing turn-based games which I play all
All the
goddamn
time.
day." Like
All the time. Yeah.
yeah.
So again, it's
I'm
like
like,
they're there. They're out there, right? It's
yeah.
just what I think for people that are like, I really loved Expedition 33 and the turn-based aspect and blah blah blah. It's like, okay, but what else brought you to it? Because maybe it is the perfect combination of things, and that, algorithm or that, whatever it is happens to include turn-based, but that doesn't mean that it brought it back to life. It did not breathe new air into it. Right. So I
No.
know I have
It's
some
just a
friends who say that just to make me angry. So stop it.
yeah, it's just a really good game and we should judge games on
Mhm.
that merit rather than this consistent need to say what a game has done for the industry. Like,
Mhm.
uh, I think frequently come back to this point of how we look at video games versus how we look at other art mediums
Mhm.
like books and film and TV. So, if in one half of a conversation we want to say that video games are art, which I do believe that they are,
Yeah,
um,
I'm with that. Mhm.
uh, no other art medium do we consistently, like once every 6 months, just because something is done well, say that that thing has redefined the industry or the genre. Because that would be weird.
That would be. Mhm.
Like you can say a movie is a masterpiece without saying that it redefined anything. I mean, thinking about There Will Be Blood, for instance, as it has been discussed in the media zeitgeist over the last couple of weeks, because how dare you, Quentin Tarantino? I like a lot of your films. Reservoir Dogs is one of
Mm.
my favorite films, but you leave Paul Dano alone. You leave him alone.
Leave a
Like,
lot of these people alone, okay?
yeah,
Don't come after
he's
Matthew Lillard. Leave him alone.
Yeah, you leave him alone. You leave them all alone. You leave alone Owen Wilson, like, but just yeah, like There Will Be Blood is a phenomenal movie. Um, I don't watch a huge amount of movies. I struggle uh to watch films a lot of the time. I have uh neurodivergent tendencies that sometimes make it difficult for me to watch a film that I've not seen before.
Hmm.
But There Will Be Blood is a phenomenal movie. I don't think anyone would dispute that, apart from apparently Quentin Tarantino, because there was no women's feet in it and no one called someone a racial slur. Um, but people who saw that film at the time when it came out and also who watch it now can say like it's generational. They can say it's
Hmm.
fantastic. At no point are they like this redefined filmmaking
Right.
because it didn't. It's just a great
Just a good
fucking
movie.
film. Yeah, like there are certain films that definitely did redefine certain parts.
Hmm.
Like you can talk about like the motion capture for Gollum and Lord of the Rings. You
Yeah.
can talk about the CGI in Jurassic Park.
Hmm.
Um like physical effects and how they were merged into things with like Alien and Terminator. Like
Hmm.
these did define and redefine filmmaking techniques or like bits of a genre.
Yeah.
But then there's loads of other films that are just really good films.
Yes.
And people can talk about them normally and be normal. But it just seems like whenever there's like a really good game, it has to be like, oh my god, like how is the industry going to react to this
Wait,
game that's
I'm
just
sorry.
fucking shit hot?
Are
Like
you are you asking gamers to be normal?
yes, be normal. Please be normal. Like and not like in a not in a like you have to be like normal about everything. Be super excited about things that you love. Don't censor yourself into not gushing about your favorite game in a bar or like at a family dinner, despite the fact everyone's going to look at you weird because you're talking about the little blob from Animal Will. But not everything
That
is.
sounded really personal.
He's so cute though. He's this little blob. You can put him on frisbee. Like he's so cute. I love him. Like, but yeah, not everything is genre defining. Not everything is like industry defining. Sometimes things are just amazing and that's okay. Like and you can be normal about it. We don't have to rename Metroidvanias to Hollow Knight likes.
Oh my god,
Um
no. No.
I love Dark Souls, but not everything needs to be a Souls like, and not everything with a stamina bar is a Souls like either. So you should stop that. Just stop pretending that
Hmm.
everything took everything from Dark Souls because it's weird and you look weird. Like and yeah, not everything that does something a little bit different or does some things really well is like brand new. Like 2025, there's actually very few new ideas left in the world. Like,
It does feel that way a lot of the time.
sometimes it's fine, and actually most of the time it's fine if people just do a thing really fucking well,
Hmm.
and then we get to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's it. Just enjoy it. You know what? I think that's the lesson. Not that we have lessons on this podcast. God, oh my God, we should never have lessons on this podcast. But if we did have lessons on this podcast, the lesson is to enjoy the things that you enjoy, but it doesn't need to revitalize. It doesn't need to redefine. It doesn't need to reinvigorate. Sometimes it could just be a really good thing that you enjoy, and that is fine. And hopefully, this episode was a really good thing that you enjoy that is not going to reinvigorate or revitalize or redefine the podcasting genre, because no, that's way too much pressure. We're not going to do that.
What is the podcasting genre? Because from what I can tell, most of the time it's just uh two white men who think they've got an idea and a mic, and
Oh
then
my
they're
God. So
like,
maybe we are going to redefine it because we're two women with a mic.
yeah, it's like, well, there we go. We're actually redefining. No.
Kidding. I know there's
Yeah,
plenty of other women with mics. I promise. That is not a
yeah,
slight to
yeah,
anybody. That is
yeah.
not a
That was
slight.
a joke. That was a joke. Like, and if you were offended by it, then you're the snowflake. I'm sorry.
It's true.
Um,
Big facts. Big facts. Hopefully that didn't cause you to turn it off so that you heard that that was a joke. But thank you so much for joining us on this episode. Don't forget that you can catch V with lots of the wonderful accent gang. That's what I'll call them. Over on the Weekly News podcast, you can find our articles on gamersocialclub.ca. And if you need more gamers to chat with, make sure you join the Discord. We're in there. We're doing community gaming things. We're going to try to schedule a Jackbox one, another Dead by Daylight, maybe some Among Us, maybe some what's the one on the ships, the pirate one, Sea of Thieves. I just don't play Sea of Thieves because that one makes me a little sick, which is why I always forget the name.
I don't like the sea, so...
I mean, as someone who can't swim and has an irrational fear of drowning, I also do not like the sea.
If it was like Land of Thieves, 10 out of 10. I love stealing things, but I fucking hate the sea, so absolutely not.
Oh my god, just be the best little rogues sneaking around, be a little sneak archers and just sneak around and pickpocket people. Yes.
Yeah. Put co-op in fucking Elder Scrolls 6, Todd, you coward.
They're gonna turn around and be like, that's what Elder Scroll Online is for.
I don't want to play an MMO. Fuck off, Todd.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to play it either. I tried it. It was not for me. It was not for me. Give me something better. And if you disagree with our take, you can tell us that in the Discord, and you can tell us why you disagree with that take. I think it's a good take though. And come join us with the anger about these game release dates being so far in advance, but then also tell us what game you're really excited to see. But make sure that before you do all that, that you hit the like button, that you subscribe, that you share this with your gamer friends or your other friends that might want to hear some of the Star Wars stuff that we were talking about earlier on. Maybe you got some Star Wars fans in your life that you want to be like, do these girls know what they're talking about? They're just talking about out of their asses. Like, what is happening? You know, let us know. Let us know. And let us know, you know, because it is the holidays. So give us some great feedback, only good feedback. And make sure that you vote in the Girl Pod Awards. 1 week left from the time this episode goes up, so that we can do something fun and fancy and give away a few awards to ourselves and to some guests. Fantasy guests that don't know that they're going to get an award, and actual guests that have been the podcast that will get an award.
Yeah, that's very true. And, you know, maybe... if you come into the Discord at the moment, there's some things that you could win. So,
it's true.
Yeah.
It's the season of giving.
All the things are happening right now.
You know,
the Gamer Social Club Discord.
Yeah, you can't really see it, but the icon for Gamer Social Club has a Santa hat and a little knapsack that may or may not have game codes. I'm just saying. So join and hang out. But if you listen this far, thank you so much, and we will see you next time on Girl Pod. Bye.
Bye.